Hello, I'm Super Orange Cat here, and with a nice limited run series I'm going to do here on my channel, I'm going to call the Downward Spiral. Now, basically what this series is going to entail is I'm going to review my opinions on the episodes of Season 2 of The Promised Neverland as the English dub premieres on Toonami. It airs Saturday nights at 1:30 a.m. And ideally the next day, so Sunday, I would give my thoughts, my opinions on the episode, and I'm going to call it the Downward Spiral because anyone who's even tangentially aware of anime knows the incredibly negative reception that this season got. And this is particularly interesting for me considering I was really looking forward to the season. This was maybe arguably my favorite anime that aired on Toonami. The season one at least did. So I've been watching. I'm going to be watching this as it goes along. I am aware of the manga. I haven't read it in a while, so some of my details on it are going to be a bit fuzzy. And again, I'm just going to give a quick synopsis of each episode and then just kind of give my general thoughts on it, and we'll call it a day. Now, this episode begins where the first episode ends, with Ray pointing out that the two people that saved him happen to be demons, and right off the bat, rightfully so, Emma gets worried, asks about what about the other kids, and when the demons did not have to be as, they held way too many cards at this point. Like, they could have just simply said, okay, we're good demons, you humans, alright, we're not killing you, you're cool. Instead, they, get weird. Magica, who's the female demon, just gives this weird, creepy-ass smile. Emma starts panicking, and rightfully so, by the way. I'm gonna point out later what I kind of don't like about what they're doing for a character right now, but rightfully so at this point. She freaks out, she runs, and, they basically tell Ray, oh, the kids are to the left, and Ray has to point her to the right direction. They see that the kids are happy, the kids are fine, and then at this, finally, the demons say, oh yeah, we're good demons. We don't eat humans for religious reasons. So, considering they're religious, they're a man and woman together, and some of the stuff they do, I'm going to presume they're like the demon equivalent of Mormons. So, yeah, I'm just going to call them the Mormons from here on out. Deal with it. So basically, they all get real acquainted. Everyone's like, "Oh, we're happy," because they hadn't seen Ray and Emma for a while. Like, "Oh, we're all together. We're happy again." And then you have this moment where basically you have Gilda tell Emma, "Haha, thank you. Don't do that to us again. Don't scare us like that." And then everyone starts dogpiling Ray, saying, "Look, Ray, we found your Juice WRLD collection. We have questions. Don't be suicidal." And basically, they have this nice emotional moment. And then after this, you have this moment where they all start learning from the demons about oh, how to survive, how to cook your own food, how to collect water, all this different stuff before saying, oh yeah, we're going to help you get out of these woods. Here's where you need to go. And also in this meantime, they basically tell Ray and Emma about what happened, why the world is how it is. Basically, in a nutshell, humans and demons have been attacking each other. Then they decided to ceasefire one day and be like, okay, this half of the planet belongs to humans, this half belongs to demons. And the demons oh, by the way, since we have to eat humans, how about you keep some humans here and we'll just basically farm them, and that's how the farm started. And right here, you already have a continuity error where it was already established that the kids were pretty much aware that the farm they were in was connected to other likely similar farms. But the fact that they were learned that, oh yeah, there's bunch of farms like yours, just Grace Fieldhouse was the best one, makes them freak out like they didn't know this already. And talking about weird continuity stuff. So I mentioned in my video a few days ago when I talked about my thoughts of the first episode, it's not a downward spiral video, it's just my news update. I'm okay, so we know Ray cut his ear off. Emma definitely cut her ear off. That was a notable point in season 1. So why is all the other kids not have their ears cut off? We know this is where the tracking chips are. So can't they just home in on this and find all the other kids? You already have demon hunters, and you had the Mormons here talk about oh, the other demon hunters, they don't know about where we are, they don't know about our tunnel system. So why would they take literally 20 different tracking chips that you know the demons are going to home in on and take them to this very secret location that you absolutely have to have the demons not know about? It just makes no sense to me. And it's like, no wonder why the demons have no issue finding you. They're not smelling you. They're just tracking your chips, kids. Like, and it just seemed really weird and stupid to me, you know. These kids should be dead by now. But again, suspension of disbelief. And back to, and then like Ray and Emma end up being like really surprisingly optimistic about this, thinking, well, we escaped from the Grace Field house and we shouldn't have. So what's to say we can't escape to the human half of the world? And then like the demons were like, well, no one's done it. I've never heard of anyone do it. And they're like, oh, we got out of the Gracefield house. We're gonna be able to do this. So at this point, they're doing in this montage. I have to talk about this montage for a moment, where it's like they're all helping each other. They're learning how to cook. They're learning how to do all these different things. And then you have the music that plays is this weird, honestly, like it just seems so off from like the musical palette of the show. It's like soft guitar music. This soft guitar music, it just reminds me of the type of music you would hear in a very clean Chick-fil-A bathroom when you're pissing out your third Coke, trying to decide if the good Christian girl you have that you spent $20 on for Chick-fil-A dinner is going to be willing to commit sin in the bed of her dad's Ford F-150. Note, if she's a preacher's daughter, the answer is always going to be yes. So, and this was just like, this music just seemed weird to me. Like, and if you're talking about like the musical palette of the show, like this show spent the whole first season being more of a suspenseful show, very high in mystery, very high in intrigue. And that takes a palette with it. And then this season, I've already been told, goes more for an action adventure route. That again has its own musical palette to it. And this like soft guitar Chick-fil-A bathroom music really doesn't, it really just seemed off to me. But again, it's a montage, so who cares? And that's one good thing about montages here, is that it's this season's gonna have to cover a lot of material. Even with skipping wholesale arcs, this is gonna be an insane challenge, and you can get rid of a chapter or two easily at a time by doing these like quick montages. And that's one decent thing about the first two episodes, is that they've skipped material already, but they did so in a way that doesn't really ruin the plot. Like, if you had no idea about the manga, if you had no idea about what basically happens, then you could watch the first two episodes and be like, "Oh, this is a good pace," because it really doesn't skip too much, it doesn't do too much. The only brief, arguable exception to this is the very end of this episode, which I'll get to in a moment. So basically, you have the main demon guy. His name starts with an S. I already forgot it. He basically is like, well, I'm going to go through the tunnels, look to the edge of the woods, and see if we have the all clear to help you kids get out in the morning. And then Emma's like, no, can I go with you? And he's like, okay, sure. So then they get to the woods, and he's like, okay, there's got to be a reason why you wanted to come with me. What is it? And she's like, help teach me how to kill, which is a good thing. And in the manga, this is a big emotional moment. And to give the anime credit, they rushed through this, but at the same time, they definitely made a good attempt at keeping this emotional moment, basically of Emma being willing to take someone else's life. And the demon rightfully says, you know, you're gonna probably have to do this to save the ones you love at some point. And the whole thing is that he talked about the demon custom of this flower, this plant, that you stab the heart of your prey with it. And if it blooms, then the gods have said, yes, you can eat this. If it doesn't, then the gods say, no, you haven't. And Emma makes the connection of, they did this to all my friends who died before me, including Norman, which they're totally not setting up some type of love arc here, by the way. They're totally not doing that with her and Norman. But I digress. So you have this like nice emotional moment, which I'll give the anime credit. They did not butcher, you know, and that's something I really liked. And then the episode ends with them coming and like asking, like the kids asking, Emma, are you right? She's like, yes, I'll be fine, signifying that she has crossed that emotional bar and that she feels like she won't be a burden to her family and that she can help her family and save them from suffering horrible fate, you know. So, to sum up all parts, I thought this was an overall decent episode. Aside from like the couple continuity errors, I can't remember if the manga had those continuity issues as well. Because also, I distinctly remember at the time, the manga was not, I'm not going to say poorly received, but the prestige of the manga was starting to drop the further along it went. And it wasn't, I don't think the ending was outright hated in the manga, if I recall correctly, but it's the first 30 or so chapters. The chapters that correspond to the first season were far and away the most loved components of it. And looking forward to, like I said, and even with what we're skipping, we are going nowhere near far enough, fast enough to remotely cover these last. And we have 9 episodes now to do. Math in my head, like 115 chapters, I think. I might be off on that math. I know there's a certain event in like chapter 52 where it's like, if you know the manga, you know what I'm referring to, that by math we're probably going to cover next episode. And it's a twist that seems that I think the mangaka really loved writing in, but honestly, I kind of saw coming at the time. And you're all going to groan probably if you're watching the anime too, because the anime adaptation usually does worse than the manga with these things. So, yeah. But overall, if I had to rate this episode, I would give this a 7 out of 10, which is actually higher than I gave the first episode. It was overall enjoyable. It really left in some good character building moments for the characters, especially Emma. And I was worried in the first episode, oh, they were going to make her completely worthless. But you left in a moment. They left in a moment which really I thought helped build her as a character, helped show her trying to make herself stronger, and I really like that. So again, 7 out of 10. What do you guys think? What's your opinions on this episode? Again, don't leave spoilers for what happens the rest of the season down below. A lot of people are watching this for the first time. So what do you guys think? What are your opinions on this episode? Do you like this? Do you want me to keep doing this downward spiral series? Leave your comments, leave your opinions down below. If you like this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. I am the Super Orange Cat, and that is all.